Dear Hector, today I decided there was no point staying in listening to the clock strike the hour. So instead I've come up to the Yorkshire Dales to see what wonderment I can find. My pack weighs more than a lead anvil, as I've decided to get exotic with the cooking. But it's wonderful to have you along for the ride. Welcome to Tito the Troddler. Hello and welcome to Tito the Troddler. We're back out again, we're in the Yorkshire Dales and we just walked up from Kettlewell and we're going up to a fell called Great Whernside, so weather looks like it's going to stay fine, which is good. It's a little bit cool and overcast, but in some ways that helps while we're walking up, so really looking forward to this. I've got quite a heavy pack on, which considering that winter's mainly out of the way now is quite a surprise, but we are going extravagant from a cooking point of view, so that means we've got frying pans and other stuff to carry. So we're looking forward to this one and glad to have you along for the ride. Right, we're about 2/3 of the way up now, so it's been a good pull up as that. Not too ridiculous, it's been alright, but a bit of a lather on, so We've only got about a kilometre to go after this now, so we're at a place called Hag Dyke, and there's a farm here which must be one of the most remote farms around here. It really is out on its own. Lovely place to be, mind you. So we're going to get up there, going to get up onto Great Whernside in plenty of time, which is great. Probably hold fire a little bit before we pitch up, make sure, you know, that there ain't going to be many people coming up. Would have thought after 4 o'clock we should be alright. Probably going to get up about 3 o'clock-ish. So yeah, really enjoying it so far. Can't wait to get set up and then relax and you know, look forward to getting stuck in a bit of food and a bit of rouge. So yeah, all to look forward to. I thought this were a farm, but it ain't a farm. It's the first Ben Redding scout retreat by the looks of it, and it was given by a bloke called, I think, is it Beckett Henderson or something like that. But what a wonderful place, and what gifted it to him in 1947. But, yeah, that's the sort of friends that you require. But look at this, it's beautiful, really beautiful. So yeah, what a gift, what a wonderful place for scouts to come. Absolutely fantastic. Right, so we finally topped out. God, I'm glad to get to the top of there. Brilliant, fantastic view though, lovely. Nice cairn just above us there, but yeah, topped out at last, so really glad to get up. Just got find somewhere to pitch now, just shelter, get in between rocks hopefully somewhere, and then I think we'll be on his own now. It's about 4:15, so I don't expect to be too, if anybody's going to be coming up now, I think it's highly unlikely. It'll be just an odd scraggler, so I think we're going to chance it and get pitched up. But yeah, happy to get to the top of that. Right, all pitched up now in the Hilleberg tonight. Can't wait. A beautiful tent this. It's been a pain in the ass carrying it up here, but I'm right glad I have done. So on with some food now, get some scram on. But yeah, beautiful evening so far. Really pleasant. So forecasted to stay like this, so hopefully it does. But yeah, lots to talk to you about once I get cracking, but need to get some nose bagging now. So there we go, steak au poivre and dabs. Yeah, really looking forward to this, should be absolutely yummy.
As the late great Keith Floyd once said, cooking is an art and patience a virtue. Careful shopping, fresh ingredients and unhurried approaches are really all you need. There is one more thing, love. Love for food and love for those you invite to your table. With a combination of these, you can be an artist, not perhaps as representational style of Dutch master, but rather more like a Gauguin the naive, or Van Gogh the impressionist. Plates or pictures of sunshine, taste of happiness and love.
Right, that meal was absolutely splendid. Really enjoyed that. Nice glass of rouge and lovely steak au poivre. And dabs didn't travel that well, in all fairness. They were absolutely out of this world this morning, but they're still really tasty, but not quite as good as what they were this morning. But nonetheless, an excellent meal. So I've got lots to tell you, and obviously usual fare. But to start off with, I just want to say, other night, on Thursday night, Thomas and I went to Ebden Bridge, and we went to the cinema at Ebden Bridge for the Banff Film Festival. I think it was either the Blue Show, I think it was called, or there's a red sort of show, and there's a blue show. So this was blue show, nothing rude by the way, but 5 or 6 really short films that were about adventure and going outdoors, absolutely out of this world. Totally loved it. And what else I also loved were Ebden Bridge Cinema, Art Deco. Beautiful, and it's sort of like gone round the houses. It started off as Ebden Royd's urban council, then it ended up as part of Calderdale, and then it ended up coming back, and it's gone full circle now, and it's back with Ebden Royd Town Council, and they run it on a non-for-profit basis. Absolute gem it is. So definitely be going to them. Couldn't recommend it highly enough, and it was wonderful to see the place pretty near to full. So yeah, highly recommend that. Wonderful evening. So a few more things to tell you as well, but we'll do it in sections. Forgot to mention also, band full bit of free advertising. Got a bit of merch. They got me on my in, so you see the elk or whatever it is, moose or an elk or whatever it is. But yeah, really good, enjoyable evening. Other thing I want to mention and all is our cooking this morning. I'm doing dabs this morning, and for those that don't know, dabs are
is basically his potatoes sliced, and then Friday night they're dripping all hard. I did them in dripping this morning, and it came from my my grandma Nellie Day. What a truly wonderful lady she was, and all her food were nothing fancy at all. But it were always really, really good. And I peeled potatoes like her, and it was totally health and safety out the window. It were a knife towards yourself, real risk of cutting yourself, but never, hardly ever do it. And I can cut potatoes for fun, in all fairness. But just as we were doing a taste test as we were going along to make sure these dabs were cooked right, it was like taking me back in time. And I can't tell you how much I miss that lady. Just so kind, so wonderful, and just used to make me laugh. The stuff she came out with were just hilarious. So yeah, thank you, Grandma, very much appreciated. I know you'll be looking down. Right, you're going to be absolutely made up about this next bit of news. Because a joke of the trip, there's two jokes of the trip, right? So the first joke of the trip is, did you hear about the bloke who cemented a trumpet into the ground outside Glasgow Library? Yeah, the council had to come and root it out. Root it out. Did you get me? Anyhow, second joke, bear with me. Yeah, I called into a chemist the other week, and I said to him, I says, I don't suppose you've got anything for hiccups? He says, yeah, I can help you out there. He says, so he sort of went into the back room, come back out, had a glass of water in his hand. I thought, this is going to be all right. And he just threw it straight over me. And I says, what on earth do you think you're doing, you blooming maniac? He goes, well, you ain't got hiccups now. He says, well, I know I am. He says, but it were for wife. She sat in car outside. All right, two jokes for quiz. There are jokes at quiz, jokes for trip, so hope you enjoyed them. Right, a couple of facts about Kettlewell, which is where we started this walk from. So Kettlewell comes from Anglo-Saxon Chettlewell, which I think means bubbling stream or brook. And obviously the majority of the time Kettlewell's done, a lot of it's been farming around that neck of the woods. But they did have they've done a bit of lead mining, that's happened over there. And they did have a watermill in the 13th century, and they used to grind corn, and then later did a little bit of textile work as well. And they also had a smelting mill as well, so it's been a little bit of all sorts, but a really truly wonderful place. I mean, there's an awful lot of traffic passes through that little narrow village, and I've got to say, walking up the back up onto Great Whernside where we are now today, were really wonderful. Saw some bits of Kettlewell I'd never seen before, but yeah, definitely worth a visit. Right, you ready for this? You're going to like this, but not a lot, as they say. Or are you? We'll just have to wait and see. So I'm going to tell you about the most kissed woman in the entire world. So in the 1880s, the body of a young woman was pulled out of the Seine and there was no marks of any sort of violence, so they just assumed that it was a suicide. And apparently this girl was quite young, she was only about 16 years of age, and the pathologist obviously pronounced her dead and obviously looked for any sort of misdemeanours, was struck by how beautiful that she was, so he decided to do a mask of her face so she'd be remembered. Right, I thought we got it to ourselves, but we haven't. But we just bumped into this lovely couple called Steve and Mel. Absolutely fantastic. And funnily enough, we're a lot of people that we know in common. So these are good friends of Paul Messer and Andy Beavers. And also they know Chris JB, and they're saying Chris nearly came out with them today. Oh, Chris, you could have been here drinking whiskey with us. Anyhow, they're going to get camped up, and then hopefully they'll come back and have a chat. But yeah, lovely couple, and genuine wild camper, so we don't mind them being close by. So yeah, I can't remember where I was now and what I was saying, but I'll come back to that. I think I was just telling you about fact or fiction. We'll come back to it. So like I said, death masks were quite common back then. So this girl become known as the L'inconnue de la Seine, which means the unknown lady or unknown person, and became quite famous. And the death mask was placed in a window to see if anybody would identify her, but unfortunately nobody came forward. They did, however, say that she had a smile quite similar to the Mona Lisa. Anyhow, fast forward to the 1950s, and a guy called Archer Gordon, who was an American and also a member of the Art Foundation, realised that a dummy would be really good for his students to practice CPR on. So Archer and his Norwegian friend turned to another Norwegian, a guy called Asmund Lardell, who was a toy manufacturer, to see if he could manufacture this doll. And in the 1960s, L'Inconnu de la Seine, he put her face on this CPR doll because he'd seen it in a neighbour's house and thought that it'd be fitting. They decided to call the doll Resuscite Annie, and the name Annie stuck. So the face has now been kissed millions of times. What a wonderful sort of story. And even more interestingly, it features in the song Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson, because the CPR doll, the people who are practicing CPR are trained to say, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? And obviously Michael Jackson put it in his song. So all that came from this young lady dying in the Seine. What a truly wonderful story. And every time you hear Smooth Criminal, I promise you, you're going to remember Annie, are you okay? And think back to this tale. Or are you? Is it fact or is it fiction? Put it in the comments below. Right, album of the trip. I've gone for the Rolling Stones, Hot Rocks, 1964 to 1971, an absolute classic albums. 19th Nervous Breakdown, all sorts of songs on there. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant album, and it's a lot of the early stuff. And although I think Mick Jagger's a fantastic frontman, I really do, but when you listen to the early stuff, it's got Keith Richards all over it. That blues side of it, aspect, his acoustic guitar, it's just wonderful, really, truly, truly wonderful. But yeah, so the album of the trip for this trip is Hot Rocks, the Rolling Stones. Right, last little factoid. Over the other side of this hill is Scarhouse Reservoir, and Scarhouse Reservoir actually I think it provides water for Bradford, and they move it all the way over to Bradford, and there's actually a viaduct, a water viaduct, or a water duct is it even, I don't know, whatever it's called, but it actually used to feature on the opening titles of Emmerdale. In fact, I think I've got it in one of my wild camp videos. But yeah, Scarhouse Reservoir, I'm going to try and come do a walk from that side because I think it looks quite beautiful. The only thing is I think it's a bit limited on parking. Anyhow, good news is sun's just come back up for the last little peak, so it's nice and warm out here now. But anyhow, as you can see, I've done all my filming now. I'm going to settle down. I've got a coffee in my hand, and then after coffee I'm going to finish off the wine and maybe have an odd toot of whiskey, and we'll see if Steve and Mel end up nipping across. Alright, speak to you soon. Right, good morning everybody.
Yeah, had a fantastic camp last night, really enjoyed it. No wind, woken up to clag I'm afraid, so we clagged in, so we're going to get packed up. I had a coffee and some porridge now, so ready to get a rock and roll. It's about 7:30. Yeah, Steve and Mel have already left, so they must have been early birds and decided to get on the bike. But really good, like I say, good camp, enjoyable, so get packed up and get back down, and I'll try and get a bit of footage for you on the way down as well. Right, we're all packed up now, so as always, leave no trace, so really a good camp this one anyhow, but yeah, so just gonna get down now. Probably takes a couple of hours, but should be alright. So in fact, first walkers just arrived as we've packed up, so timed it about right, and I'll see you on the way down. Right, back at Hag Dyke, next to the scout hut. What a facility this is, honestly, absolutely magnificent. What a treat it must have been coming up here as a company of scout. You see bunk beds upstairs and whatever, but they've had some right giggles and a bit of fun up here. But yeah, sun's out, it's a beautiful morning, not a lot of wind, but yeah, really pleasant walk down. So I reckon we've probably got another hour and a bit to get down, but yeah, really good. Right, we're nearly back down at Kettlewell. Just a bit of info for you. When you get to the bottom at Climb here, we missed this footpath out right here that takes you to Hag Dyke, and it's actually a slightly shorter path, but we went on this this path over. There's the second path to the left, and in fact actually it's a lot easier path, but obviously it's a fair bit longer, but I don't think we did a bad thing going that way actually, so yeah, but just for your info. Right, so I'm nearly back down to the car now, so yeah, really enjoyable trip. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have too. And yeah, I don't know where we're going to get out next. I've got a little bit of something on next week, and then you never know. But yeah, really good to get out, so hopefully not too long before we do it all again. But yeah, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, because that's always appreciated, and it'd be wonderful if you subscribed. Subscribers are increasing. Oh, just to say, I spoke to a guy, I can't remember his name, an ex-policeman, and he lives up Borrowdale, and right nice to chat to him, and his missus on way up as well. And I'm sorry I've forgotten your names, but he said he would check out to other toddlers, so hopefully there'll be a few more subscribers getting on. But I was sort of going to get a target of trying to get to 1,000 this year, which is probably a bit ambitious, because I think I'm on 217, but you never know, we're increasing anyhow. But yeah, genuinely thank you ever so much for watching, much appreciated, and we'll catch you next time.